But things keep changing, even if it's bad.
You must be good on hallucinogenic drugs. For me, for me, it's just a panic. You know what I mean? It's like, who knows what's going to happen? I'm like,
I can't even take gas at the dentist. I can't. No, it all scares me. I need to just stay in myself. I had to stop meditating because that freaked me out. I got so into I've disappeared, I've merged with everything that I had to stop for several years.
Well, how is the blank slate thing so compelling to you if you can't meditate or take gas at the dentist?
Well, I can meditate now. I went through a period where I couldn't because it scared me because I disappeared.
Yeah.
I think I allow myself to disappear to a certain extent and to be consumed at work, but like totally disappearing, hideous. Anyway, I don't like the idea of doing any drugs. I don't. I know there are benefits to doing those psychedelics, and it can be really incredible for people with psychological difficulty.
You never had depression or anxiety or lost your mind?
Yeah, part of being alive. Who doesn't have that?
Dumb people.
Look, if you're here, you've got to feel it all. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're missing out on life.
Yeah, I've been sort of paralyzed by a certain amount of anxiety that turns into paralysis that then turns into not being able to like I get consumed with dread at times. Yes, and that's you know that one?
Yes, absolutely.
That's the worst.
Yes, it's hideous. But it ends, doesn't it? It's not constant.
That's what somebody said to me. Someone said a real nice thing to me, actually. John Hamm, like he just checking in on me about Lynn. This was just like just a few days ago. And I said, well, look, he asked me how I was doing. I said, well, I'm not broke and I'm not sick. I'm just sad. And he said, well, that goes away. Sad doesn't stay around forever.
Are you close to him? That's so nice of him.
I don't know if we're close, but he checks in. Sometimes people have been very nice about checking in with certain people. I like him, but like there's very few people that I consider that I hang out with. Like who I'm close to now, who's a new friend is Tracy Letts, who you worked with.
God, I love that man. He played my husband in the Realistic Joneses on Broadway, the Will He No play.
Yeah.
He is, there's a similarity with you. It's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I remember we sat down at lunch, he and Michael C. Hall and I, and he goes, well, listen, folks, we're going to be spending a lot of time together, so let's just cut the bullshit. And this is my story. What's going on with you? It was fucking incredible. I love him so much. Yeah. I really, really, really admire him. He is an incredible person. And I know that he's done a lot of work on himself, and he's just the coolest. What a rock star.
I get him laughing pretty good.
Oh, isn't he great when he gets laughing? Oh my God. Yeah. He's such a great giggler when he really goes.
And you were also in another movie that I love that nobody talks about, Changing Lanes. I love that movie.
Yeah, right.
I love that movie. I've showed it to people that don't love it as much as me, even with my passion for it. They don't like it as much as I like it.
Your passion isn't infectious enough to get people through it.
Well, I'm a sober guy, so it's really it's an AA movie. It is an AA movie. So if you're,
you need to watch it again. It's been a really long time.
How do you feel about it seems to me that there's a couple of people, and I'm going to compare you to an American actress who's amazing as well, Allison Janney.
Oh my God, I love that woman. She's in the movie with Sam too, in The Way Back. That's how I met her.
Right. She plays the saucy neighbor, right?
Yes, the saucy pickled neighbor.
Yeah.
So funny.
You guys should do a two.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you and Allison Janney. Because it just seems to me that as both of you get older, you get not only better, but your ability to sort of take these emotional chances without any sort of second guessing is like profound. I
think if you become too calculated, it's just trite. You've got to just listen to your gut. Like that inner knowing is the only thing I rely on. That's it. Anything else starts to come into it, I realize, I'm suddenly a fence sitter and I've screwed myself up in my head. It's all gut.
How do you feel about this sort of it seems to me that you're kind of being used or allowing yourself to be used or taking these roles and sort of, I don't want to use a genre name, but they're kind of horror movies.
I mean, I don't know how many films I've done. I have no idea now, but I've only done a handful of horror movies, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's true, but I guess it's just sort of the parts and like
just something to do, right?
Yeah.
So they are supremely challenging. Bringing some kind of reality to that world is difficult, and I want a challenge. Otherwise, I'm bored.
Right. So that's how you see it. Bring something real to that world.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even see Hereditary to me is a family drama. It gets wiki in the end.
Yeah. Right.
That was at the end of that was, I mean, I just couldn't help but laugh because it just seemed totally removed from the rest of the film. And I think Ari Aster, the writer-director, was very clever because he was a first-time feature filmmaker and he wanted to do something splashy. But in order to get noticed and, you know, open some more doors for yourself, I guess that genre does things. I don't know.
Sure.
But really, it's an intense family drama. Jesus.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, yeah. And Gabriel Byrne's he's such a great actor too, huh?
I can't believe I got to work with him.
Was it great?
Gabriel Byrne.
Right away, you guys.
Oh my God, what a great person. Great human. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. So what about stage? Do you want to do more of that?
No, I want to direct now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've been offered some things on Broadway, but I live in Australia. I just can't keep doing it. I have to, you know.
You want to direct film?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I want to do.
Are you working on that? Do you got some things lined up?
I've got 3 things lined up. I better do a good job. I've got 3 of them lined up. So that's exciting. Yes. One's been announced. It's an adaptation of a book by Graham Simpson called The Best of Adam Sharp, and the film's going to be called The Best of.
Oh.
Which we're hoping, I mean, who knows what's going to happen in the world, but hoping to shoot next year. And
do you have your DP?
I do.
Do you know him from other movies?
I did a film called Dream Horse last year in Wales, which was one of the best experiences. Have you been to Wales?
No.
Oh, man. It was never on my hit list. I'm telling you, the people are beautiful. It is stunning. The place is just unexpectedly beautiful. I will continue to go back there now. But I did this film. It's based on a true story about a woman who kind of feels a bit lost. Her kids have grown up. Her relationship's a bit boring. And she'd had this history of like training, you know, like having show pigeons and things like that when she was younger with her dad, something she shared with her dad. And she just decides she's totally broke and she just decides that she's going to raise a racehorse. She's going to breed a racehorse. And this racehorse goes on to be the biggest winner that Wales has ever known. It comes from this tiny little community where she gets everyone in the village to put in, and it totally changes the community. It's the most beautiful story. So anyway, Eric Wilson, who shot that, is also going to. It's the first time I would be in a room on set. And I thought, I'll go and look at the monitor. It just looked. I couldn't believe what he had done, literally just with the lighting. It was just so breathtaking. So anyway, he's gonna be shooting the film.
Good choice. Sounds like a good choice.
Norwegian.
Well, Norwegian. Now, of course, he's great.
Yes.
Because Norway is like a magic land.
That's right.
So, all right. Well, I want to tell you this before we go. I love you. I'm a huge fan. I like your work. I like the movie. I was just being argumentative because it challenged me, and I demand answers, and right. But I shouldn't, because there's no one's going to give me answers. Charlie's not going to give me answers. You're not going to give me answers. But I
eventually.
Okay. Well, I mean, I certainly will. I will recommend the film. You were great in it, and it's a complex, amazing movie. There's no way around it. And it was great talking to you. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sign off, kind of. I'm going to say it's great talking to you because I know you got other things to do, and you're going to say thank you, Marc. This was really fun. I've been a fan for a long time. I used to listen to you in the car, and then you're going to tell me what the fuck that movie was about.
Marc Maron, it is my pleasure. Do you know what? I listen to your show so often. I'm like, why doesn't he ever ask me to do it? Why hasn't anyone asked me to do it? So, when I was at my kids' soccer match on the weekend and I was flicking through an email about what I had to do today, and there was your name, my husband turned to me because my breathing changed. I was so like, oh God, I'm going to be doing what the fuck with Marc Maron. Like, I got really nervous. And it was days before I was going to speak to you.
Do you feel okay about it?
Yes, because ultimately I knew that you were going to be you, because you are you, and
right.
It comes through in everything that you do, and there's nothing to be scared of because you're lovely, and it's been a total pleasure, and I'm very, very happy to meet you.
That's good to meet you too. Thank you for doing it. Okay, now what the fuck was that movie about? Okay, there you go. I put the time in, see it, maybe space it over 2 viewings. I'm thinking of ending things. It's now streaming on Netflix. Enjoy. Try to keep it together. I will play now a bit. Boomer lives. So does Monkey LaFonda. How many times a day do you find yourself hoping for a do-over, a fresh start? Imagine if your future, your security, your family, your livelihood depended on it. The opportunity to not just do good work, but to get back to work. Dave's Killer Bread believes your past shouldn't be what holds you back. Dave's Killer Bread believes in second chance employment. It's the purpose behind every loaf they make. Learn more at daveskillerbread.com/second chances.